or was it just mishaps, right? And then my initial observation was I was like, I got to get this guy on the podcast because for one, I just respect the hell out of him that he sees something for what it is
Mhm.
and is like, hey, I'm not going to go put myself at risk or whatever the reasons that you may or may not tell us. I just thought it was super respectable of you to hang up the boots
Yeah. Yeah.
while you can.
Yeah. I think it was a lot. I don't think I've been very vocal about, being injured puts you down, but my injury at Star, like I came off my leg. At Phoenix, came back to the last three. It was kind of a struggle. Actually, I mean, I don't think I did terrible, but I didn't do great for what I was expecting. And, obviously there's a lot of pressure. And then that off season was going okay. Like I had really good speed. My cardio was but it was coming around. And then obviously I broke my wrist. And then from there it was just literally 2 years of, I mean, a year pretty much, a year and a half, 2 years of just train, go get surgery, train, go get surgery, train, go get surgery. Like there was a 9 month or like 8 month span. I rode barely. You know what I mean? I think I started riding at maybe 8 months. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. Um, but it was just like, man, like it was so defeating to train. My body was in good shape. I was running. I was, doing everything with Swanee, and then my wrist, I got avicular necrosis. So it's like, all right, well, go back. You're getting full wrist, reconstructive surgery again. And then it
Is
was
this your
just like,
throttle hand or is this your clutch hand?
no, it's my clutch hand. So then it was, well, it's still bothering me. I can't even hold on. Like I can't do nothing. So it's another surgery. And I was just like, I was almost getting burnt out of it. And then I go to Anaheim and, I get here. My off season is all right. I mean, for being off the bike, missing Supercross, basically I missed a full year of Supercross. Plus, I missed, a boot camp. So I'm behind the eight ball so much. So I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was great, but it was good enough. And then I go to Anaheim, and my wrist is hurting 10 times more. It's a track that I haven't rode, and like I think it was easy at the practice tracks because I know, what's gonna hurt. Kind of how to mimic your body in a way, and so like and to back it up, like during boot camp, like I leave every day before I rode. It was tape, it was my wrist brace, it was this like cream I found that like you rub on it and almost makes it go even more numb, even though I don't have any
Like
nerves to my
trains or
wrist.
something?
Yeah, I don't know. It was some crazy stuff my girlfriend found. So like literally, and then on the way home, like I had Tiger Balm patches. Like I had like it literally was a full like just to ride it was a full time like rehab still. And I got to a point I was like, you go to San Diego, I overjump a jump, people overjump, all the time, and it just I feel it snap, and I'm like, dude, what the heck? And then that's when I tore my TFCC, which
So
going
broke
back and reading
again
all my
just from
surgical.
over jumping something?
Yeah, I was just from overjumping. And then I went back and looked at my surgical history, and it's like, oh yeah, TFCC was already damaged. So then they tried to fix it, and like that, this whole side of my wrist is just, I mean, I can just move it. It's so loose. So I'd have to get it completely fused on this side. Like it would have to get where I can't rotate, basically, and I have no strength. Like all I have, that's the movement I have. I have nothing side to side. So if like I try to lean the bike down, I can't. It's just straight. So I
Mm.
have like nothing. That's me trying to move it side to side. So
Was it Jeff Ward that it kinda ended his career was his
I
throttle side?
I know
Or
someone else they just told me about, but also I think going into the next kind of step of it is, I go to Paula and I got this fixed. It was another 8 weeks. And then I go to
well, that's
Paula.
Supercross, now fast forward to
Yeah,
motocross.
and it's still loose. Like they fixed it. It's still loose. Like I mean, I don't it's hard to tell, but like it
No, I know, like,
dislocates, you know what I
trying
mean?
to do
Like
something I can't.
yeah.
Mine is
So it's
strong.
basically dislocating my ulnar side. And so I go to Paula and it's like I'm I had 2 weeks on the bike, and somehow I was riding decent enough that they're like, yeah, go race. And we go to Paula, and it was like on press day, I was going through the rollers and my hand fell off the bar. And I'm just like, dude, like that's sketchy. Your fourth gear wide open, your hand falls off the bar. So it was just after practice, my wrist was done, like cooked. Like I was like, I can barely hold on. Like I don't know how I'm gonna hold on for 30 minutes. And then I ran into Austin's bike, and that was it. That took everything out of me that I had left, any strength in it. So I went and seen a few doctors after Paula, and everyone was just like, "Well, you can get it, because I'm partially fused scaphoid, hamate, lunate. Um, it's like a four corners, or kind of like a four corners fusion, but not. So I went and seen a bunch of doctors, and they're like, "Well, you could try this, but I'm sorry, you're pretty much screwed. Like, this
Could
is
you
what."
fuse it so it wouldn't dislocate, but then you'd lose all movement though?
Yes, but how the one doctor explained it is I have no ligaments. So when I initially did it, the doctor literally same doctor that did Roxon's arm, which was gnarly. Dr. Viola, he does. I mean, most people that have wrist stuff in motocross go there. So I mean, he had told Swanee and my girlfriend when I was in surgery that like my wrist was mangled. Like there's nothing left, no ligaments, everything's torn, everything's like I basically dislocated it and flipped the bones upside down and like on top of each other. Um,
Mm,
so it's like it's mangled, like it is bad. Um, so I just have no ligaments left in the left side of my wrist. Like there's nothing to hold it. So how your wrist works is the bones rotate over each other. Um, so I would have to get rid of my rotation, and I don't think that'd
yeah.
be very good.
Yeah,
And it's
I broke
still
mine, so I don't mine's kinda I can't
yeah
move
yeah
it
yeah
too far, but
yeah
it's
yeah.
nothing
So
like yours.
I just know in life I'm mature enough to say I'm already 2 years behind the eight ball. Um, like I'm 2 years behind. I already have an injured wrist that's not going to be great. Like I think it's time to just find something else. And
What
you
was
know,
your support system like, Styles? Was it your dad? Was it your girlfriend? Was it the team? Like, what
um,
made you come
m-
to this conclusion rather than
on
like, "Hey, I'm just gonna try another year or a couple more races," you
yeah, I
know?
mean I had another year on my Triumph contract. So I mean I could have milked it. I could have sat and got an injury clause. Um, but that's just not who I am at the end of the day. And actually, everyone in my corner, I think, knew that I was struggling, like even during Supercross, to like with the wrist injury, like with it hurting every day, just struggling to get through it, like mentally, it takes a toll on you when when you know where you think you belong and you're struggling. It's mentally draining. So obviously, my support system was my parents, my girlfriend. The team here was really good. And then I have a few friends, that would call and check in on me, and I even flew or a friend flew out and spent like a couple of weeks with me before because I was just down. And then that was Supercross, and then fast forward to outdoors. I think it was nice. No one pushed the decision on me. No one really asked. They kind of just let me go do it on my own,
Mhm.
which was nice. I think my parents and my girlfriend definitely knew and definitely were there when I talked about it. And then I have a really good family friends at home that um, I could talk to. And but really, honestly, I made the decision on my own.
Which is gnarly, dude, because I was never as good as you, okay? And I always pictured myself that like, you see the plus 50 guy racing at the track, and you're like, he's been racing since 85s or something. I
Yeah.
thought I was going to be that guy,
Hmm.
and then I had a catastrophic injury that kind of was like, hey, do you either want to walk or ride motorcycles?
Yeah.
And it was one of those type deals. And then now I'm so kind of disconnected from the urge to try to go race again.
Yeah.
And you being 23, I'm just assuming, right? And so let me know if I need to shut the fuck up, that this is all you knew was racing dirt bikes. So like that sounds scary to just up and quit right there, because it's like what else do I know? And I think a lot of guys, your age could learn from you, because some people that aren't even pro are somewhat in your shoes, and they continue to race because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is all I know, and that's the scary part. But I really pride myself on that I'm a hard worker, and that, if you show up and work hard, you're gonna make something happen. And I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I was making okay money. I could have sat on the couch and probably make just as much as I'm gonna make doing whatever I do, But that's just not the kind of person I am. I'm over sitting on the couch. I'm over being injured. So yeah, I mean, really the decision just came down to, in life in general, I want to be successful. I want to do something, and I don't see this going in the direction I want. So I'm just gonna go, put my head down and work. And it's the same thing as, you do when you're an amateur. You work hard and you'll figure it out.
Yeah. And dude, power, it sounds like your support system, your parents, whoever's behind your corner is really has your best interests at heart, to be like, hey, dude, it's okay to pivot. And this is the one thing when I talk to riders and privateers that I get so effing mad about, is they feel like all they have is riding. And I'm like, okay, lack of being the stupid words I'm using, but I'm like, okay, dipshit, if you try just as hard as you were racing dirt bikes at starting a business or doing anything,
Yeah,
you're going to be successful.
yeah,
You picked a sport where the top 1% of the 1% get to like make a living on
no,
doing that. If you go do it in anything else and you make it to the top 1% or 10% of that, you're going to make way more money than you did racing dirt bikes.
yeah,
So go put some passion into something else there. So,
yeah,
dude, I just, you seem so humble, and I'm super impressed with just how young you are and how well grounded you are for kind of understanding that. Cause like looking at you, you look like you're at peace
mhm,
with the decision.
yeah,
And talking with Rhino, and dude, like I was having a small conversation with like Danny Pedrosa and some of the MotoGP guys that quitting racing. Like I haven't had the privy to talk to any of the uh, Tour de France guys, but I've seen through the news or stuff of guys like committing suicide because they can't race anymore,
mhm,
because that's all they knew.
yeah,
There's nothing else that matters.
yeah.
And yeah, okay. And one of the guys is telling me that it wasn't Jeff Ford, it was Ricky Johnson that had
Yeah,
the.
that is who it is. Yeah, but thank you for the kind words. And yeah, I mean, I think a little bit of it is being off for 2 years. I'd go home, and I've always been drag racing with my dad's friends or my dad, and I kind of found a hobby outside of it. So I knew that there's more to life than motocross. Obviously, I'm hoping to stick around in the industry and do something, but there is more to it, and I think that's a big thing to understand, is there's a lot in life.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So it sounds like you had an outlet to kind of focus in on some other things, as opposed to kind of just living your heyday of yesteryears.
Mm,
I think that's the problem of what the sport does, is it doesn't help people in your situation kind of move on,
yeah,
right, from something like that. And it takes a strong young man to be able to do so, because I could give up so many examples of people that were in your same situation, and it went the other direction. It
yeah,
went down a dark path.